there's one thing I know from having been an advisor and then obviously, running parallel is advisors do not like to have a boss. Now they will accept, sort of peer camaraderie. And this is why I think really it's our job, to facilitate these things, part of our job, because, back to what motivates an advisor. And I learned this framework a long time ago, but the three things out of this framework that I learned and I really appreciated as an advisor is, number one, a level of autonomy is important. Number two, relationships. And so this is what part of the advisor forums, why we did it, but also how do we help advisors create stronger relationships with their clients? And this is through tools and resources, so relationships are really important to advisors, most advisors. I'm not going to, stereotype everybody. And then economics, and this is why we're on a payout model or a revenue share model, because you have unlimited earning capacity or potential as an advisor at Parallel. The sky's the limit. You want to work harder, you will make more money. So we really sort of embrace that. And there's pros and cons to that. And but really those three things, autonomy, relationships, and sort of economics are near and dear to most advisors' hearts. They were to mine. And so those are the things that we're trying to promote here at Parallel.
Autonomy, relationships, economics. That framework explains the structure of everything at Parallel, including how they approach something most advisors resist: sales accountability. Because here's the challenge. Advisors want autonomy, but growth requires activity. Most firms solve this with top-down mandates and activity quotas. Parallel built something different. The gamified sales system CJ's about to describe is his management consulting DNA showing up. But what makes it work isn't the technology, it's that advisors are measuring themselves against their own goals, not being measured by management.
That piece as well is one of the resources that we have at Parallel is, we've almost gamified the sales process for advisors so they can measure their own activity. They have a sales goal. In Salesforce, we've built this, and we have this sort of defined activity point system that gets you to a new client. And so you can set your own goals. You can measure your own activity points. What's real activity and not real activity. But you do have to be, what you just said, consistent, diligent about it. You have to measure it. That's really what, in my opinion, sales is. And that was the part of the business as an advisor that I really liked. I really liked meeting new people, obviously delighting my clients and serving them very well. And then they would introduce me to another person. And I loved going out there and seeing how I could possibly help that person be in a better situation that they are today.
I see some of your Accenture management consulting background coming through and the gamification of your sales pipeline. I love it. I have one more question for you, CJ, and then I'll wrap us up with our final question. I know that recently Parallel Advisors formed a trust company, and you've talked on this call about the importance of breadth and depth of resources, and that resources, in addition to culture and economics, it's one of the three pillars of what makes Parallel so special for advisors.